Hi guys, a very good afternoon. So why I feel that China is responsible for all of the havoc which has happened in the world in the last 15 days. Pretty simple. First of all, China is not a democratic nation, so its people doesn't come first as a priority. The country comes as a first priority. So China comes first and the Chinese come second. In unlike in other countries like India and United States, where democracy is of highest importance and the people come first, and their liberty and their freedom and the space, so right to speech, right to do what you are you feel like, comes first. But in China comes first, Chinese come second. Second most important thing, when all the havoc started in the start of January, why is that China didn't contain it in the first 2 or 3 weeks when it was just spreading in Wuhan as they're telling? Definitely not, because they definitely wanted this to go global, and they really wanted to be affected to the entire world, because they want to dominate the world. Why is that they don't compete to India? Because they are ahead of India from a long miles, so they are in no interest of India. The only two things in Asia which are of prime countries are India and China. So their target is United States, that they want to get the economy of the United States down. And how do you do that? Stop everything, ask the people to be in home. There won't be any consumption of commodities, the economy will collapse. And how the economies collapse, all the stocks and shares which is owned by the companies will start decreasing in the value, because 50% of the thing would be invested by the people and 50% from the companies. So when the stock market keeps on going low, you buy those stocks at a cheaper rate, and to make sure that you stabilize those economies. And what happens that the Chinese companies and the Chinese government will get a good grip on all those companies, and they can start executing their powers in the forthcoming days. It was already predicted that by 2035 to 2040, China would be ruling the world. But nobody thought that they're gonna go this way. So they are already in competition to most of the major economies. The supply chain is with China, as I've been repetitively telling you. If you can actually observe, they have been it's been their it's been their trend. Even in Hong Kong, which is just next in Hong Kong, when all of the chaos started, when the judiciary of Hong Kong was separate, but the China wanted its judiciary to be put up in Hong Kong, where Hong Kong people rejected it, and actually put it across to the entire globe, to the world media to come and help them. And all the havoc was happening for the 3-4 months, and the people were dying, and nobody was able to help, because Chinese government doesn't allow outside journalists to go in and investigate what is happening. In spite of all that, a few of the good journalists, a few of the good bureaucrats actually have tipped in, and then tried what they were trying to do. So the message is very clear from China. Now when the stock market has fallen down, they have boosting their economy, and forthcoming days they would start dominating the market. The entire global trade is dependent on oil currently, and USD is the prime currency for it. And how to get USD down? So obviously when the economy collapses, the USD will fall down, and then they would have to go and propose a new currency, which they actually did after the Second World War. And China feels that that is the right move, that point of time, to actually go and do it. And with respect to how the conditions are being now getting back to normal in China, so it's very simple. Like if I was the one who was creating the virus, I want it to go global and affect everyone, and then I get my economy, I get the antidote for it, and then stop it, so that everything gets stabilized. Why is that the people are not affecting now? How is that the people were affecting so badly at the start? How is that when US is affected, Italy is affected, Spain is affected, France is affected, Iran is affected, India is affected, all the major nations in the world are affected, and then everything has been shut down. So at this point of time, they really the life of them is getting back to normal. And if you actually go back and ask them how is that possible, they tell that everything is being contained. Why is that this containment was not done at the initial stages? To give us a very simple illustration, we had Nipah virus a couple of years ago in here in India at Kerala, and government felt that, when if it's very contagious and it start affecting the people, so it made sure that it didn't go out. And Wuhan is a place, if it came from there, why is that they didn't contain it at the initial time? Because they don't want it to. It's as simple as that. They wanted it to go global. They wanted it to affect every major nation in the world. All the economy shut down. And then now they're coming, getting back, and now they have started a new thing that, they're helping the countries like Italy, with supplies and all, because they want to win the compassion and goodwill of the other countries. So this is just a big white collar gangster game. Nothing from animals and all. It was very clear, because if there is any virus which can actually take 2 weeks, and it can actually is it it spreads like a nuclear fission. So it is not something which comes from the animals. It's as simple as that. Nothing in the history has proved it. And this was made in the biolab, which was in the Wuhan Institute of Technology, and it was spread it to the world. Why that Beijing was not affected? Why that Russia is not affected? Why that North Korea is not affected? Because they are allies. They want to have a direct competition to US, and of course. So it's as simple as that. So to how to fix this, it's very simple. If the entire globe can come at one stage and ask the Chinese government to stop all of this, and then ask them why it started, and get an antidote, and then start fixing the people, it's gonna really really help. Because nobody wants to be in home like this, quarantined. This is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit and nonsense in 21st century. And no civilizations, no generations, no countries, no cities deserve this kind of shit what is actually happening around. uh, this is not the time where countries will go for nuclear war. They keep telling they're going to press the button and then go and launch a war. This is not the time. This is the time of bioweapon, in 21st century, when the economic import export, and then so much of interconnection is there. No country would want to invest their energy and resources and money on the state of wars, like which used to happen in the past. This is the time of the bio war, and then China has master planned it and then put it across to the world. So this is something, I wanted to put it across. I've been clueless because of these nature of the government. And so there've been like multiple instances of China. If you can actually see it, in the past few years, how they have been reacting and how they are, actually, doing. So it's as simple as that. And have a good day ahead, and cheers.